Everybody, if you could please take your seats, silence your cell phones. Happy New Year. And I said, in preparation for the new year, I got a new gavel this year because somebody broke it last year. Just saying. Okay. Hey, just got to, set it right. Anyway, this morning the invocation will be offered by Pastor Jerry Storrs of the Sun on Lutheran Church, Casa Grande. And that'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Supervisor Surdy. And for those of you that wish to participate, please stand.
Let us pray. Eternal God, creator and ruler of all, graciously regard those who have been set in positions of authority among us, including Mike, Jeffrey, Stephen, Jeff, and Rich, that, guided by your Spirit, they may be high in purpose, wise in counsel, firm in good resolution, and unwavering in duty, that under them our Pinal County may be governed quietly and peaceably, through Jesus Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, we'll do that. Be official. Welcome to the Pinal County Board of Supervisors regular meeting, January 7, 2026. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to recess the regular meeting. No, why am I not doing that? Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay. By the way, Supervisor Goodman is on the telephone.
Supervisor Goodman, if I can get you to confirm.
I confirm.
Thank you.
A voice. Okay, well, I'm going to ask for a motion to recess the regular meeting and convene e-session for items 13 through 16.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to go into exec session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are in executive session.
Aye.
That one too.
Yes,
For the supervisors.
So moved.
Is there a second? I have a motion to second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Goodman?
aye.
There we go. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. I'm going to adjust a little bit real quick. Sorry, but we're going to do item 17 real quick. And this is to authorize outside counsel Snell and Wilmer, gosh, I can't talk, to file any pleadings up to and including seek a declaratory judgment regarding Pinal County's interpretations of the Elections Procedure Manual. Do I have a motion, please? Oh. Ms. Lewis, would you like to talk about this real quick?
Chairman McClure, members of the board, Pinal County Recorder Dana Lewis, and Officer in Charge of Elections. I know we can't talk about what was discussed in executive session, but I think the general public is aware that historically, coming out of the 2023 Elections Procedure Manual, there were verbiage in there that put the Pinal County in a situation with the use of express votes to ipso facto turn Pinal County into vote centers. That language was modified a little bit in the 2025 Elections Procedure Manual, but there is still some question as to what that does is overreach for this county and for this Board of Supervisors. So hence the reason we're asking for your direction to proceed.
Thank you. So I'm looking for any questions of anybody for Ms. Lewis. No. Very well. Okay, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve item 17 as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Those in favor, say aye.
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 Goodman?
Aye.
There we go. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you very much. All right. Moving back to item 1. County Manager's report, please. Mr. Liu.
Thank you, Chairman. I wanted to make you aware of, as the board, and I know you already are, but and the public, that we're going to be celebrating a groundbreaking event next Wednesday, January 24th, at 2 p.m., right across from the Toltec Elementary School in Eloy. And if you want to know more about that, you can visit our website. And there was a really good article that Pinal Central did regarding this groundbreaking, and they did it on Christmas. If you wanted to look that up, December 25th, they published it. But it's for the county putting up 32 cell towers that will give 5G and LTE wireless broadband to essentially fill the gap for all of Pinal County. And if you remember, I mean, it felt like a real long time ago that we had this pandemic, but it really opened up our eyes to how many students and rural communities do not have access to 5G. And so this project is fully funded through federal money, both the ARPA and other. Thank you to our congressional representatives who have filled the gap on the funding for this project. Thank you to Tammy Ryle, who is our intergov person who really spearheaded this. Her and Peter Lynn, Peter works at the school superintendent's office. They have spearheaded this not only to have over 18 IGAs, but to work with the state, ACA, and the feds so that this project could be executed. So please, if you can, show up to this groundbreaking. You'll learn more about it. But as we all know, this broadband is essential for education, for public safety, for economic development. And these students, most of these towers are at schools. There's a few, there's one in Mammoth, there's a couple on our sites, but a lot of these are at schools and at CAC. So all of these students will have access, and even on their buses and their Wi-Fi on their buses. So thank you again to everybody who helped make this happen, and please join us next Wednesday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that's it. Thank you, Mr. Liu. Item number 2 is Supervisor District updates. I'll start to my left here with Supervisor Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have a video, but before I do that, I want to just do a little shout out to our JP Ellsworth, who passed away on New Year's Eve. He spent his entire life serving the public. He was in the Navy and then became a police officer and then the sheriff's department, but not at any one time. I don't think he was in anything other than public safety, and then became a JP, which that's a grueling job right there. But to have somebody from our community that's dedicated their whole life to that, I just wanted to give him a little shout out. So there's, I think, more information about him in the newspaper. But anyway, I wanted to do that. So then I believe we have a video, Ms. Natasha. Talk to that after the video.
Let me give you the definition of a river in Arizona. We call a river until it has water in it. Then we call it a flood. The desert needs the water, but I tell you, managing those large amounts of water that falls across the desert is hard to get a handle on and direct it where it's most beneficial. It does cause a lot of damage.
Water can be a very destructive force, can cause erosion. A wash is a conveyance system for stormwater that flows through a watershed. Sometimes it's naturally occurring, sometimes it's man-made.
The impact of these floods do not discriminate. They take, they reap havoc on everyone, from farmers to private property to homeowners.
Because the ground is not accustomed to absorbing that water, we don't have a lot of vegetation in this area that helps with the infiltration of the water. When it hits, it just runs off. And when we get the monsoon events, they're very heavy rain events in a very short amount of time, so there's not time for that water to infiltrate. So it concentrates and it flows downhill and until it impacts personal property, until it impacts public infrastructure, and until it impacts entire communities.
We monitor the activities in and around these watersheds because the slightest amount of maybe protection that you think you're putting out for your piece of property can affect the properties downstream and or upstream.
In the case of the Smith Wash, what we're looking at is largely farmer built, is 183 square miles. It converges with the Vehicle Wash northwest of the city of Maricopa at SR 238 along Ak-Chin property.
An event with maybe even an inch of rain, the magnitude, when it all comes to a single point, a wash, an area, the volume and the force that water will carry can be very damaging.
There is a history of flooding from the Smith Wash watershed and from the wash itself, where the banks have overtopped. In 2018, the storm event from the remnants of Hurricane Rosa, the county experienced about $450,000 in roadway damage. Maricopa Stanfield Irrigation Drainage District experienced about $650,000 in damage to their infrastructure. And the farmers' agricultural properties along Smith Wash experienced an average about $235 an acre in damage to their properties.
Now, with all the growth that's happened out there in the Maricopa area, you can see how it can have an effect on the properties and why the study is needed at this time to try and mitigate these events.
What we're trying to identify with this study is what the sources of those flows are, where they concentrate, where they're likely to create the greatest damages, and then what we can do to design to counteract those damages.
The cost of these studies are tremendous because it's a lot of mapping and analyzing and studying and looking up history of flows. So it's difficult for some people to understand how important these studies really are. But thanks to our congressional offices, Senator Mark Kelly and the Arizona delegation, they've been able to lobby us at the Washington, D.C. level to convince people that we need to protect the property values of the folks that live in this area.
What we're looking at is a lot of different possible options. We're looking at potentially some offline basins. We're looking at potentially channelization in some areas. We're looking at potentially some impoundment within the wash itself to slow the water down, to allow it to infiltrate, to create some sort of green areas where vegetation will grow and help with the natural infiltration.
It can be anything from bridges to culverts to widening of washes. There's a whole number of methods that we're used to mitigate these events. From the study, this is what we will determine. It's not if it's going to happen, it's going to happen and when. And how do we prepare for that in the future?
Thank you. I'll just add to that the Smith Wash watershed and the Santa Cruz. I have been working on this back when I was even on the city council of the city of Casa Grande, and it's hard to get the government to want to really understand the dynamics of the return on their investment, on how it protects our properties when we are able to build into these mitigations. So again, I'm very happy we got the grant to at least start this study, and hopefully then at some point we'll be able to get the money to do the mitigation. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Goodman, do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything. That's a good video, though. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Vitiello.
First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and make sure that you enjoyed it. You took some time off to enjoy with your family, because I know I did, and I'm sure the other supervisors. The other thing I'd like to mention is that I appreciate the board for this past year, as my first year as a supervisor, and staff for what a great job they've done helping me get through the year and understanding what every department does and getting stuff done. And that's all I want to continue to do, is just get stuff done and working with the board. So again, thank you very much, everybody. Pinal County, thank you. So one of the big things that I was able to put together was a seminar about battery storage. Very important, because as you know, over the past years, we've had some battery storages, solar stuff coming into the county. So I was able to get 45 firefighters from 24 different districts, fire departments, to get together at Coolidge PD, which I want to thank the city of Coolidge and the chief there to allow us to use their training room to bring these firefighters in. We fattened them up with some good breakfast and lunch. Then we took them over to CAC College and we did a burn. So important, because 3/4 of them said they've never seen a container burn. We actually had to set it on fire. It took about an hour and a half to get the batteries to set on fire. But what it showed was that where the burn, what happens with the burn, and what happens during it, such as where's the smoke go, how dangerous it is. And we had 100 sensors around the whole thing. And then we also had them 100 feet away. And we'll get that data. But again, the data basically shows that within 100 feet of that burn, that smoke dissipates completely. Your house fire, which I've said this before, is actually worse than a battery storage fire. Now, why is that? People say, well, you've got your carpet, you got all your furniture in the house, TVs, all the different plastics. Let's forget about just what's in your garage, which most people have: kerosene, gasoline, paints, whatever the case may be, that firefighters have no idea what they're walking into, opposed to a battery storage fire. These firefighters who were standing there were probably 30 feet away, no worries in the world what was going on with it, because they know what was going on inside that container. We brought 4 containers to show how safe it is when a battery fire actually catches. So that way you can see where the sparks go. These new containers are different type of steel. They're lined so that way they're insulated, so they don't jump from one storage container to another. Because when people talk about battery fires, they talk about ones that happened 10, 15 years ago, things that were actually inside buildings. But anyway, it was great for the firefighters. They were able to come and check it out, and it was a great turnout. Actually, also attended County Supervisors Associated meeting. Met with SRP about a situation that's going on in Stanfield of about 4,000 acres of SRP getting ready to possibly build a 4,000-acre solar field, which the county has really no say in, unfortunately. But anyway, I attended that meeting. Went to a Coolidge luncheon for the end of the year. Mayor was speaking, so it was a good turnout there. We had a potluck in the building that I work in Maricopa. It was the first one since that building was open. And the ladies put it together inside the office for the treasurer, the assessor, and the recorder. And we had a great time there. We invited all 3 of the elects in that one too, but unfortunately they were very busy. And then we also had a ADOT board meeting in Queen Creek, again, which is very important for Pinal County to show up at these meetings, because, again, we need funding for our state highways and state roads that the county can't touch. And, of course, you give me the opportunity, I'm going to always talk about the 347, but not only the 347 north, I need to start talking about 340 south of the train tracks in the city. With a lot of homes in the future coming out that way, that will be the major arterial to get people in and out of the city of Maricopa. And right now, it took 20 years to get the money to build 347. Now I got to start getting the money for the 340 South. So met with ADOT and gave them a little heads up. Coolidge City Council, and then also Eli Crane was nice enough to send us over 150-year anniversary. Nice letter. Some of the other supervisors got different letters from different districts, but just wanted to thank Eli Crane for sending that over and recognizing Pinal County for the 150th birthday. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Surtee.
On January 9th and 10th will be the 3rd annual cleanup in the Gold Canyon area, and it will be at the community church at Alameda and Kings Ranch Road. And from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., you can bring just about anything as long as it's not hazardous. Christmas trees, especially large appliances, things that won't fit in your dumpster. And that's great that we were able to work that out. Another thing, just basically a public service announcement. With the rain that we've had in the past month, the stink net is back already. And if you don't know what stink net is, then you're lucky. Its real name is Globe Chamomile, and it has the little round yellow balls of flowers, and it's pretty for a bit until it takes over, and then it dies, and it becomes a terrible fire hazard. And it is spreading everywhere. And each one of those little balls has like 10,000 seeds in it. So if you leave one of them, your whole street can become infected with it. So get it out of there now before it gets big and blooms completely. And we're fighting a losing battle, but we've got to keep up with it. Leo, I think the county is doing some invasive species work. How would they contact to get information on this and how to try to stop it now? It shouldn't even be growing in January. It's from South Africa. It came in from the West Coast, and it's slowly spreading east.
Yeah, I think Chairman and Supervisor Sturdy, I think start with our Parks Director, Scott Hamilton.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Sturdy. For my district, we've got on the 26th of this month at the Desert View Theater in Saddlebrook, we'll be having a presentation on it's called the Saddlebrook Loop. It is extending the bicycle trails from Oro Valley down in Tucson for the Chuck Huckleberry Loop all the way up to past Saddlebrook Ranch to Biosphere and then back around so that the non-leather jacketed bikers can all cruise around and not be on the roads. That would be nice. So if you can attend that, that's 4:30 to 6 on the 26th at Saddlebrook Desert View Theater. I will be at the groundbreaking for the broadband tower at Toltec Elementary in Eloy on the 14th at 2 o'clock. And later on, Oracle, Samuel, Mammoth have what is this? It's a trash pickup. It's called BOPA, and it's batteries, oil, paint, antifreeze, and more. So so it's on the county website. It's also on my site of the county as well. And I have a video, I believe, as well for Ascent. Let me run that, please.
It feels really special. I mean, it's been a lot of sweat and tears over the last couple of years, but it's good to see people in here. The hangar door is open, and we're ready to go to work.
This is a great opportunity. I mean, Ascent has done a great thing here at Pinal Air Park, and I think that this is a part of our economic engine, if you will, for the county.
We're going to be modifying 777-300ER aircraft. It's one of the largest twin-engine aircraft operated out there today, and we'll be modifying them from passenger to freighter. So the first aircraft, for instance, will take us 6 months to modify, but once it's done, it'll be capable of transporting 110 tons of cargo around the world. Every single frame on the aircraft, floor frame and floor beam on the aircraft, is removed and replaced with reinforced beams that can handle much heavier weight on them. You're cutting a door in the aft of the aircraft large enough to get pallets into, and so that reinforcement around that door cutout is critical. So it's 150,000 man hours. It's a lot of work to get done in 6 months. These gantries are designed to go around the front end of the aircraft, or what we call the nose of the airplane. The two outer ones that are taller go around the tail of the aircraft, and the reason they're so taller is because that's where you're cutting the door. And so it enables people to work on what's called the crown of the aircraft, or the very top of the aircraft. These gantries enable us to work at 4 different levels at any given time on the aircraft. Once we hit our run rate, after about aircraft number 5, we'll maximize our learning curve and get things done quicker. At that point, each hangar will turn 3 airplanes a year. So we'll be able to complete 6 aircraft in a year.
300 employees, $77,000 average pay. is a great thing. I mean, I think they said that's something like $23 million injected into the economy. That's a lot, and that's something that this area needs specifically. You see the other side of the county growing in leaps and bounds. The southern part and the eastern part of the county don't grow as quickly, and I think this is a great driver for this area.
We'll employ 300 jobs, okay, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, what really is below the waterline is truly a vast amount when you think we're buying from vendors locally and globally for that matter. We have customer support personnel helping us with this project that will be staying in local hotels or apartments or Airbnbs or spending their money in Pima and Pinal counties, which is not something we calculate in our economic impact, but you know, it's residual. It is residual, so it's huge to the community. Overall, I want to thank Pinal County for everything that they've done in support of this. You know, from Jim Petty, the airport director, all the way up through the county manager and the board of supervisors. Everybody has just been tremendous. So I just wanted to thank you guys for what you do, and yeah, we're committed to Pinal County for a long time, and we hope to continue to grow.
Yeah, just for reference, those hangars are 90,000 square feet, so they're about the size of an average Home Depot on the floor, and they're 94 feet tall inside. You could put 5 737s in there if you stack them right. They're just massive. They're really cool. Anyway, so that's at Pinal Air Park. So thank you very much. Next item be number 3. Be presentation of the 2025 Arizona Association for Economic Development Golden Prospector Award. Mr. Millman, you're up. And you brought your award carriers and all the supporting staff.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and good morning, Board of Supervisors, and Supervisor Goodman. Hope you feel better soon. Happy New Year. My name is Joel Millman, Director for the Pinal County Economic and Workforce Development Department, and also Arizona at Work, Pinal County. With me, my close friend and sort of mentor is Lisetta Hogans with the City of Phoenix, and then we have some remarks and a brief presentation that we'd like to share with the board. So Lisetta, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning, Chairman and members of the committee or of the supervisors. It's good to see you all this morning. Thanks for the invitation. We're happy to be here with Joel and share some really great news with you.
So just briefly, as you know, Arizona at Work is a state brand for the network of no-cost employment and training services that are available to individuals with barriers to employment, as well as employers seeking to address their workforce needs. Unfortunately, there are times when a business must make tough decisions, and such was the case in laying off a workforce. Such was the case in Nikola Motors when they had to close its doors last spring and lay off over 800 employees. 300 of those employees were in Pinal County at the facility down in Coolidge, another 500 with the City of Phoenix. In response to this layoff, Arizona at Work Pinal County and with our partners at Arizona at Work City of Phoenix mobilized what we call a rapid response team. These teams, in coordination with Nikola Motors, created a comprehensive plan. And this slide deck here, if I could, here's this thing. We just have a few items we'd like to share with you in response to this. So what we're calling it is turning disruption into opportunity, regional response to the Nikola layoffs. Of course, I'm not doing it right. Oh, okay. There we go. So as I said, there were over 800 individuals that were impacted by this layoff. Those 800 individuals, for direct earnings losses, over 800 was a little over $37 million annually. So it was very important to get these folks reemployed, whether in the City of Phoenix or through Pinal County. And so we banded together to put a plan in place to do just that. So our mission was to get people quickly re-engaged with the employment process, And so to prevent talent losses, it says there, we focused on maintaining industry momentum, contacting local employers in both City of Phoenix and Pinal County and Maricopa County, and to ensure that we could kind of match up folks with their occupational skill set with available opportunities in the region. Oops. Now, the reason we invited our City of Phoenix partners here is that we call this a cross-jurisdictional collaboration. This is a regional event. Those employees were directly impacted. Nikola had facilities in both the City of Phoenix and Maricopa County. City of Phoenix and Pinal County. I'll get it right. Sorry about that. We did engage with our friends of Maricopa County and also with the Arizona Tribal Network in the whole central Arizona region. But the City of Phoenix and Pinal County were the leaders in this. That's where the facilities were. The City of Eloy was kind enough to host a career fair and job fair for those that were impacted. And we also contracted with an organization called Career Connectors, which facilitated workshops. Central Arizona College was always a great partner in these efforts, participated. And also the Department of Economic Security provided unemployment insurance assistance and provided some computers at the career fairs so folks can register for unemployment insurance and also fill out applications for employment. This is a picture of one of those events that took place. There were 2 events that were scheduled in the City of Phoenix for those folks, and then 2 events that were held in Pinal County. And the results of these were, we opened these up to the public, but the target audience were those impacted employees. So over 740 job seekers attended these events. 93 individuals participated in the workshops. We had 44 employers that participated in these events to provide immediate employment opportunities and to retain that skilled workforce in our region. Good luck.
So Joel really did already kind of share that this was a cross-jurisdiction event amongst Arizona Work, City of Phoenix, and Arizona Work Pinal County. The 3 of us, Maricopa City and Pinal County, we really like to come together and have a regional approach in how we deliver workforce services, because we understand people don't necessarily live and work in Phoenix. Many people live and work in Maricopa, or they live and work in Pinal County, and they cross over, right? So for our regional impact, this was really a blueprint of resilience for us. It really showed our efforts as collaborating together, really bringing our economic development professionals and our system as a model to move forward for other employers. So why this matters for economic development? It really does preserve the regional buying power. It gives us the ability to reconnect displaced workers quickly by connecting with other employer partners and offering those hiring events for them. It allows us to be able to show and demonstrate to our employer partners how we are able to help maintain their business here in our local areas. It protects us really as a region, right, to be able to demonstrate this type of model for other employers that are looking to come into Pinal, Maricopa, or the City of Phoenix. And it really does help us to collaborate and have a collaborative, responsive culture amongst all 3 local areas for future disruptions. So this was not just a rapid response, quote unquote. That is the title of what we do under the grant that we are funded under with Arizona at Work. It was really a regional economic strategy in action. And so this was proof by us receiving an award through AAED for our partnership and being able to collaborate. So we're really proud to share this model as a symbol of our work and what the possibilities are whenever it comes to working with our employer partners and our job seekers and really doing that strategy around economic and workforce systems. I'll pass it back to Joel.
No more clicks. We just want to, that was the gist of the presentation there, but rapid responses, we're currently working with Franklin Foods in Casa Grande. There were 85 impacted employees down there, And our rapid response team is working closely with those individuals right now to provide similar services for those individuals. But, Lucetta and I represent our respective local workforce development areas under the Arizona at Work model. But to make something like this happen, I know Lucetta is well-respected, and I nodded my head when our well-respected rapid response team started putting this together. And these are the folks that really need to be recognized for this entire effort here. So I'd just like to introduce from Pinal County, Arizona at Work Pinal County, Mariah Robles, wherever she is. There she is. Mariah is our Arizona at Work Pinal County Rapid Response Coordinator, so she has the lead in organizing these events that occur in Pinal County. Caden Peterson is our Arizona at Work Pinal County Economic and Business Strategist, so engaging with the employers and organizing the job fairs and putting that all together comprehensively. And we also have Jose Alvarado, who's our Arizona at Work Pinal County one-stop operator. Is he? Well, believe me, he's around here somewhere. And what Jose does, Arizona at Work is a network of multiple programs, and Jose is that common thread that brings them all together under the direction of Caden and Mariah. And then Lucetta wants to introduce her team, and then we'd like to formally show you our award, and then at the end we request a picture if that's in the cards.
Yes, thank you, Joel. And like Joel said, we could not do this without our superstar team from Pinal and Arizona Work City of Phoenix. And so from my team, I want to introduce James Montoya, who is our project manager and rapid response coordinator. I'd also like to introduce Delcy Melodona, who is one of our business services team members, Brenda Ukiti, and Christina Lira, who is also one of our business services team members that assisted with the rapid response events. We couldn't do this without this magnificent team.
Thanks, Lucetta. So again, this is a regional approach, and we're recognized by the Arizona Association for Economic Development at their fall conference for a Golden Prospector Award for this particular event. And so that was back in October, but the holidays hit, and we just had a schedule. So that's why we're sharing this with you today. But both City of Phoenix and Pinal County were recognized for the efforts for this one particular event. And so we just wanted to share with you as a Board of Supervisors who ultimately share in the oversight of Arizona at Work Pinal County. And so you share in this award. And so thank you. And if we could request a picture.
You can, and we will. Kevin's right there with the camera. I see that.
There we go.
So, well, thank you for all the work you do. We appreciate it.
Any questions or anything?
Now we're going to come down and all, kumbaya and have a picture.
There we go.
He's the expert. We're listening. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
How about we just get you lifts? Okay. Come on in. Joel. Sorry? Actually, that'll work.
Do I just jump in the front? Or
Yeah, sure.
with my puppet as well? Different rapid response.
Okay, everybody looking right here. And Serty, come over just a little bit. There you go. Nice big smiles. 3, 2. Nice. We're going to do it again. Let it charge. 3, 2. One more. Okay, everybody, big smiles. This is the only one you get. 3, 2. Okay.
He'll draw us. He'll give us an eyeball.
All right, next up, item 4, presentation to highlight the functions of the Pinal County Treasurer's Office and to inform the public of the duties of the different divisions within the Treasurer's Office. Mr. McCord, come dazzle us with your...
Yes, sir. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. I am Mike McCord, the Pinal County Treasurer, and I thank you for allowing me to come up and explain what the Treasurer's Office does, namely for the fact that people often get confused with what I do compared to what the Assessor's Office does and think that I set tax rates and that's your job, as I often remind people. So I want to thank you and Happy New Year. But in kind of the politics of the day, I think what gets lost a lot on people that especially come here or go to other meetings is how much local government actually affects we, the residents. I think there's far more effect of what happens in the decisions that you guys make and the decision that local city governments make far more than whatever affects us at the national level. So I think letting people know how county government works is a brutally important thing. And in doing that, my chief deputy, Kelly Monroe, brought to me this idea of creating a video to show off what we do. And I appreciate that as we put it together, because I want to recognize some of my staff. Wiley Sellers, our IT director, Freeman Cooley, who works for us, and Paul in our IT department that runs our T-Rocks, our own proprietary software that Pinal County created, by the way, which multiple other counties, including Maricopa, now use to do their tax collections, which I think is a kudos to us. Brandy Sellers, who took over this as the special district, who took over being the special districts administrator and has done certain things to help bolster that department. Our accounting team run by Cherry and Mendoza, and our tax division by Diane Powell. Without these people, the Treasurer's Office would not function in such a way that it does and provide the services that we do, along with the help that we try to provide to all the other county agencies. I want to thank Leo, our county manager, because I know lots of times I have to bring certain things to him, projects and whatnot, and he has always been very accommodating and helpful to make sure that the Treasurer's Office has what we need to operate in an effective and efficient manner. We've also had several milestones. This is now starting my 10th year as the treasurer. We've won the Merit and Summit Awards on multiple occasions from the Arizona Association of Counties for innovation in technology and implementing processes within the office that our fellow colleagues across the state wanted to recognize. So I think that's important. I appreciate you guys taking the time and allowing me to come up here and show this short video. And before I show the video, I also want to thank Kevin, one of the unsung heroes that does all the videos, takes all the pictures, but manages to get it all done. And I don't know how he fits it all into a given day, because I know he goes from multiple things and in multiple places. I assume he has a clone somewhere hidden in the back room. But I really do appreciate him taking the time to create this video for us. Hi, I'm Mike McCord, your Pinal County Treasurer. The Pinal County Treasurer's Office is dedicated to providing access to easy tax information, the distribution and collection of your taxes. The Treasurer's Office serves as a central bank for the entire county, collecting deposits from all departments. It provides banking services to county departments, special districts, and school districts, ensures smooth financial operations across all entities. The office balances daily account activities against our bank accounts and manages all wire transfers and electronic payments on behalf of every county department, In addition, it is responsible for handling bankruptcy matters and proceeds in excess. Our tax department manages a variety of essential financial operations. We process all incoming payments, whether cash, check, or credit card, and ensure they are accurately applied to the appropriate customer's parcels. The office also handles tax lien foreclosure judgments, maintains records, and supports the legal and financial workflow involved. In addition, we process treasurer's receipts on behalf of our county's departments, provide consistent and reliable support across the organization. Payments are entered into our automated data entry system, OPEX, which helps streamline and verify large volumes of information. Each day concludes with balancing all deposits to maintain accuracy, transparency, and accountability in our financial reporting.
Hello, I'm Kelly Monroe, Chief Deputy Treasurer for the Treasurer's Office. We have dedicated professional staff here in the Florence office that includes 4 satellite offices that we provide services for the public.
Our admin team here in the Treasurer's Office oversees several key administrative and operational processes that support the smooth functioning of the Treasurer's Office. They coordinate the full interview process, ensuring communication, scheduling, and documentation are handled efficiently. The admin also processes all paperwork for new hires and employees who resign, maintaining accurate and up-to-date personnel records. Their duties also contain payroll processing, essential to this office, and carried out with careful attention to accuracy and deadlines. In addition, the office handles quotes, purchase orders, and invoice payments to support purchasing and financial operations. The team coordinates and maintains essential functions for all 6 treasurer divisions, including managing office supplies, arranging maintenance repairs, and ensuring the day-to-day operational needs are constantly met. The Treasurer's IT department is primarily responsible for maintaining and enhancing the Treasurer's remittance and online collection systems, as we know it here, TROCs. This work includes administering and maintaining all servers that support the application stack, as well as developing, testing, and deploying new features while supporting existing functionality. Over time, the department's role has expanded to encompass several additional systems and services. These include managing the OPEX scanning system, overseeing AQ2 batching software, and handling payment integrations with third-party vendors. The team is also responsible for the development and deployment of mobile applications and provides first-level local support for day-to-day IT issues.
Our Special Districts Administrator serves as the primary point of contact for 88 special districts, including water, fire, DWID, SLIDs, sanitary districts, and others, providing guidance, communication, and support throughout the year. We ensure that each district remains in full compliance with state statutes, including the timely submission of financial reports, budgets, and audits. The office is also responsible for overseeing all state deed auctions, managing the process from preparation through completion. Each year, we host an annual Special Districts meeting to provide updated resources and training for special district officials. In addition to those responsibilities, our office maintains active involvement in statewide organizations. We participate on steering committees for the Arizona Special Districts Association and are also involved in the Rural Water Association of Arizona, supporting broader collaboration and advocacy for special districts across the state of Arizona. Our investment administrator conducts ongoing analysis of market trends, economic conditions, to identify strategic opportunities that support the Treasurer's investment objectives. We actively buy and sell assets to build, balance, and maintain the investment portfolio in alignment with established policies and financial goals. In addition, we perform comprehensive due diligence on all potential investment opportunities, evaluate risk, performance, and compliance to ensure prudent and responsible portfolio management. Over the last 9 years since taking office, I've watched Pinal County grow and flourish. Our office has grown as well. I'd like to thank our staff here at the Pinal County Treasurer's Office for all the great work they do and dedication they have to all the departments, helping out throughout the year whenever any projects need assistance and help. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. McCord. All right, next up, item 5, Discussion, approval, disapproval of the Purchasing Division report, January 7, 2026. Ms. Gorman, I see you out there.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Board of Supervisors. Tracy Gorman, Purchasing Manager. And this is the Purchasing Division report for January 7th, 2026. In this report, the Board is requested to approve one contract award for RFQ 261130, Tax Lien Internet Auction Services. The Board is requested to approve two contract amendments for RFP 242929, Property Abatement Services. And the cover page did not include the ROQ 251530, Job Order Contracting, JOC, for residential contractors. However, the document is included in your report. We are requesting the Board approve 4 competition impracticables over $100,000 per Procurement Code Section PC 1-502. There is one purchase order change that requires your approval. There are 2 cooperative purchasing agreements we would like to notify you of, as they are between $100,000 and $250,000. And lastly, we are seeking approval of 1 cooperative purchase requisition over $250,000. The recommendation, we recommend motion to approve the Purchasing Division report as presented with the correction to the cover sheet to include Contract Amendment 251530, ROQ, Job Order Contracting for residential contractors, for which supporting documentation was included. Any questions?
No. Any questions from the Board? No. Very well. Board? Is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I motion to approve item 5 with the contract amendment of 251530Q.
Second. Is that
No.
good enough? You need the rest of it.
She wants
need to
it.
read the whole thing.
Oh. Recommendation motion to approve the Purchasing Division report as presented with the corrections to the cover sheet to include Contract Amendment 251530Q Job Order Contractors for residential contractors, for which supporting documentation was included.
That's the one we were looking for.
Second.
I have a second. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Very good. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Gorman.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Item number 6, consent items. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. I have received, let's see, from Ms. Roberts that you'd like to pull Z, AA, and AB. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other items from the board? Is there anyone else from the board that would like to pull an item? No. Supervisor Goodman?
No, I'm good.
Okay, there we go. Manager, from the audience, from the public, Ms. Podasky.
I'd like to pull AA, AB, AC, AD, and AE.
Oh. Okay, I'll have to, sorry.
Come up to the microphone.
Come up to the microphone and tell us, because, yeah.
And then ask your question.
Well, you were in a small classroom.
45 one year. AA, AB, AC, AD, AE.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
And A and AB have already been pulled,
Okay.
but I probably have a different reason.
Just AA through AE.
Exactly.
Thank you. Okay.
You want me to tell you my reason?
Sure, give us a...
My reason is the same reason that it's been for the last months. All of these are retroactive, and the dates don't match today's date. And I realize that the fiscal year begins on July 1st. However, almost the entire Pinal County apparatus manages to get things in. I think by doing it in later that it circumvents certain procedures that probably allow for input. And I did math. English teacher that I am, I did some math. And if you tally up the amount of money involved, it's over $1 million. The Pinal County budget is over $1 billion, but the general fund is only 38%. So this is a significant portion of the budget, and I just think that it should go through normal procedures. And, as for whether I think these are worthwhile things, there's only one of them that I have a personal objection to, and you know which one that is. That's the one, the anti-smuggling one. But the rest of them, sure. Project Hope, go take those kids shopping. I mean, they're good things. I just think they should go through the procedure. I think that this country is in a spiral of action. We used to say, do something and ask permission later. I think there's a lot of doing things and not asking permission, asking for forgiveness. I think there's a lot of things going on where...
Okay, we'll come back. We'll get these answered for you.
Okay, well, I don't, I've heard lots of answers to lots of these things, and I'm going to just keep pointing them out.
Sure.
So yeah, sure, I'd love to be answered. It makes me happy.
Okay, thank you. Any others from the audience? No, none of that. Okay, movie's not over yet. You have to wait. Okay, so we have consent items. What do we have? A through AM. And so...
Any others?
AM? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me back up. We've had items Z, double A, double B by Ms. Roberts, Ms. Badasky, double A, double B, double A, AB, AC, AD, AE. And that's it. So, can I, you want me just to read them? Can I get a motion?
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve consent items A through AM minus Z, double A, AB, AC, AD, and AE.
I think that's correct. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 There we go. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Let's start with Ms. Roberts, Z, double A, and AB.
Thank you, Chairman McClure. May I speak from here? Is that fine?
We can hear you.
Stay here?
Just use the teacher voice that she tried to use.
Okay, I'll try. The county attorney's office asked to pull items Z, AA, and AB for discussion. For the sole purpose is to remove two of the forms that were included with the grants. There's a form that is the proof of nonprofit status, and another form that is a certification regarding eligibility for the minimus rate of 15% of MTDC that are not applicable to the county and should not have been included with the submission. So we would request that these three items be approved as presented minus the two forms, the proof of the nonprofit status form and the certification form.
Okay, thank you. Can we do all three at once? Yes, we can. All right. May I get a motion, please?
Sure. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve double A.
Z.
Oh, I'm sorry, Z, double A, and AB. Recommend the motion to approve consent item Z through AB as presented, minus proof of nonprofit status form and certification regarding the eligibility for the minimum rate of 15% of the modified total direct cost of the MTDC form.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That was good.
That's a motion there.
Here we go. Okay, so I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. I have a motion second. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Here we go. Sorry. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And now we will come back to AA and BB. We've passed it, but can you just explain AA and BB, please?
I will explain to the best of my knowledge and my experience working with grants. These grants that come in from the state for VOCA are very much, we're at the mercy of the timing of when the state submits them. They are monies that that go into that the various departments, the county attorney, sheriff's department, and so forth, are waiting on. They count on them as part of their budget. They staff, different positions, and we expect to get them in, but we have to wait for the actual agreements to come in before we can have them executed and approved by the board. So that's why they appear to be backdated, but they are not. We have to wait for the actual receipt of the grant.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Miller.
Just a quick clarification and question on that. We include these dollars in our budget process.
Yes, we do.
We just don't act on them until we know that it's going to happen.
That's absolutely correct. They're included in the budgeting process. The departments are counting on them, but we can't actually get the monies until they send us the grant agreements to sign.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I know we already voted on that, but I just wanted to have you. And let's see, and so the others are AC, AD, and AE. And I think that's probably Mr. Teeple, Sheriff Teeple.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Pinal County Sheriff Ross Teeple, sir. To reiterate what the great Christine Roberts said, we are pretty much at the mercy of these grant funding agencies. We follow all the procedures. We submit everything. It goes through the chain of command, and then we're at their mercy when they fund them. In particular, the W.L. Martin, that organization actually calls it an endowment. It's a private entity. It was a charity that was set up by the man that invented matchsticks many, many years ago, and they don't work on a fiscal year. And there's always a little bit of a clunk because governments work on a fiscal year, they work on a calendar year, which is why that's the only one on the consent for the sheriff that says a retroactive submission.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Ms. Podesky? Okay. You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr.
If I may?
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that, again, back to the budget process, we approve all of this in our budgets, but we don't necessarily act on them until we are notified by whoever is issuing the grants. So we don't, this is the kind of the second step of a two-step process. We anticipate getting the grant, we put it in our budget that we might get the grant, and then until it shows up, then we activate the grant.
Sir, yes, sir.
Probably, maybe that's a clear way to put that.
If you'd like to speak more, you can come to the microphone just so we can hear it better.
The one thing is a grant. I don't think the anti-smuggling thing is a grant. I could be wrong. It could be a grant, but I don't think it's a grant. I am referring to AD.
Grants project.
Okay. That one is January 2024. That's a long time.
Can you expound on that, Sheriff Teeple?
Yes, as far as the January 2024, if many of us remember, there was a change of admin at a federal level. One of the first things that they did was they created a new agency that was looking at government overspending and government waste, and that put a halt to a lot of these grant reimbursements, and we're still sifting through that.
We're referring to item AE, is that correct?
Yeah, Doge.
Mhm. Okay.
From getting money.
Okay.
Correct? Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if she wanted to use the mic or.
I'm loud as fuck.
Okay.
I don't think I saw it.
Stop. Get,
Let's not have
watch your.
conversations in the audience.
Okay. Stop. Okay. So anyway, this is what this is from. This is why this is old, because it was applied for back then, and it took this long to come through.
Yes, sir.
That's all. We're still back at the same thing. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Sheriff Teeple. I appreciate it. Okay. So let's move. We have to do these one at a time. Okay. So may I get a motion for items AC through AE, please?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve consent agenda AC, AD, and AE as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sheriff Teeple. Okay, we'll move through this quickly. I'm going to recess the Board of Supervisors regular meeting and convene the Pinal County Flood Control District Board of Directors meeting. And let's see, Mr. Wanamaker, are you here someplace? I don't think I. No. Okay. Well. Okay, Mr. Plummer. Okay, we'll hang on just in case. I'm just making sure. Okay. So this is again consent items. I believe there are 4. And let's see, all items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. I have asked to pull item B because I had a quick question on that. Does anyone else have one they want to pull? No. Manager, no. Audience? Seeing none, may I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the Pinal County Flood Control District consent agenda A through D minus B.
Very well, thank you. And for item B now, do we have outside counsel on this? Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to go through the whole process? Okay. Okay, I have a motion for A through D minus B. And there's a second? Second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Here we go.
Aye.
Opposed? No, I hear none, so motion passes. Thank you. Item B. Do we have Mr. Gaylord online, just in case?
Yes, Chairman.
I don't really think there's an issue, but so item B is contract amendment or a contract between Pinal County Flood Control and the Arizona Department of Water Resources. And I just was really curious, like, what is interferometric synthetic aperture radar, and what the heck does that do? Thank you so much.
Sorry. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I won't try the naming, but the INSAR is a statewide program run by ADWR that determines basically settlement that's occurring in the state usually due to water extraction. And so what we get is an annual update from ADWR showing areas within the county where we have had settlement that's occurred because of that, and that goes into our mapping system.
So, okay, so INSAR, so is that a satellite? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, I was just checking. I said, what the heck are they going around? Okay, that was really all I wanted to know. So, and then we contract with them. Okay, thank you very much.
Can you introduce yourself? Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joshua Plum, Pinal County Assistant County Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Plum. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Gaylord, for being on the line. So I'm good with that. Any other questions about this? No. Manager, audience. So may I get a motion on item B, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve item B.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. At this time, I will adjourn the Flood Control District Board of Directors meeting and convene the next one, the Public Health Services District Board of Directors meeting. And this is, again, consent items. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda is called. So this is A through C. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none. Manager? No. Audience? Oh, Mr. Revelis. Which one would you like to pull?
The one you just called, public health.
Which one?
Right. It's A through C. Do you have an item on there you wish to call?
I haven't been able to reach that in my sheet. But may I approach?
Oh, please, please.
Roberto Revelis, resident of Gold Canyon. At my advanced age, Mr. Chairman, I'm always wanting to be alert on what the trending issues are affecting public health. The flu, for example, measles. I volunteer at a public school, and I'm concerned that I don't receive or transmit any of those infections. And so my question in general, can the public health report to the public on the trends on the major infections currently abroad?
Okay, well, those aren't agendized, so I don't think that they can discuss that, but we can have them contact you.
Well, I'd prefer that information be made public because there's many of us who are in the senior category.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We could do that at a future meeting, I would imagine.
Mr. Chairman, maybe that's something we do have on a regular basis, a report from public health.
That's
every meeting.
Sure.
Is that possible?
On the trends.
On the trends?
Yeah. Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, we can make sure they're posted and easy to find on the website so that if anybody wants it at any time, they can see some of those trends. And we can also have, you get the annual report as well, which was probably pretty recently, and then we can have public health give an update as to how different things are trending in their department as a whole, specifically contagious diseases.
Okay. Does that work for you, Mr. Revelis? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have items A through C. No one want anything pulled. Got to get a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the Public Health District consent agenda A through C as written.
Very well, thank you. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. We will now adjourn the Public Health Services District Board meeting, and we will reconvene the Board of Supervisors regular meeting, and we will be at call to the public. Call to the public is the time period for members of the public to address the Board of Supervisors to provide public input relating to subject matter within the Board of Supervisors' authority or jurisdiction. Those wishing to address the Board of Supervisors need not request permission in advance. Action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling it for further consideration and decision at a later time. And I have a few here. Let's see. Oh, do not wish to speak. Do not wish to speak. Do not wish to speak. Oh, very well. I have Ms. Hartle. Please. Please just state your name and generally where you live. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Nancy Hartle from Florence, Arizona, and I'm here today to remark against 287G plans for our county to start using our local law enforcement agencies to be part of the ICE operations in our community. I oppose this for several reasons: fiscally, humanely, and religiously. Fiscally, this plan is reminiscent of racial profiling technique in Arizona SB 1070 back in 2010, which was considered a disaster by all concerned. Our tax money should not be used in this way, especially with our local law enforcement folks. Our immigrant community in the U.S. provides $93 billion in tax revenue. In Arizona, $700 to $766 million from undocumented and $26 billion from all immigrants. Those who are undocumented and not citizens are ineligible for services like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. They are also consumers, rent, groceries, gas, etc., which stimulates our economy. Humanely, number two is humanely. This thug style of arresting people is an abomination. These folks are part of our community. Their crime rate is far less than our own citizens. Entering the country without legal documentation is a civil violation, not a crime. Labeling them all as violent criminals is just another false vilification and scapegoating method used by tyrants. Number three, religiously. Normally, one would not expect religion to be part of a political issue. Unfortunately, the tide has recently turned in our country, despite the Constitution, which specifies that there will be no state religion. I see this Board of Supervisors meeting always begins with a Christian prayer. As a true Christian myself, based on love and kindness, not a white Christian nationalist, cultist based on power, control, and hate, it rips my heart out to see this unchristian way our immigrant community is being treated. The Bible strongly commands welcoming foreigners. Pope Leo XIV recently reminded us that welcoming the stranger is a core Christian duty, and failure to do so will be a basis for judgment. To summarize, no one member of the Board of Supervisors, nor should the entire board, be making decisions to involve our local law enforcement officers in this expensive, disgraceful endeavor. Thank you.
No clapping, please. All right. Let's see. We have Jennifer Hill's boss. Is she still here? Oh. You don't look like Jennifer. I know what she looks like.
I'm Matthew Nelson, speaking for Jennifer Hillsbowes. She has a statement. Members of the board, Jeffrey McClure, chair, and members of the board, implementing a 287 agreement. I live in Oracle, Arizona. Implementing a 287G agreement between the Pinal County Sheriff's and Attorney's Office is a dangerous move that will fundamentally undermine public trust and jeopardize community safety, while the program's stated goal is to enhance security by removing serious criminals. Reality of delegating federal immigration authority to local law enforcement comes with severe counterproductive consequences. First, the program compromises the essential principle of community policing when every routine traffic stop or interaction carries the risk of initiating a federal deportation process. Immigrant residents, and by extension the entire community, become less willing to cooperate with PSCO. As critics, including the ACLU, have warned, the chilling effect leads to underreporting of crimes, allowing violent and nonviolent offenders to operate with impunity in marginalized area for a county focused on maintaining our rural safety. Isolating any segment of the population is a step backward. Second, the 278G diverts local resources and attention. Local officers should be focused on crimes relevant to Pinal County, such as property crime, drug enforcement, and domestic violence. By transforming duties into de facto ICE agents, the agreement shifts focus and resources to federal immigration matters, distracting them from their core duties of serving our Pinal County residents. The program effectively forces Pinal County to bear the social and administrative cost of enforcing a complex national policy. True security is built on a trust, transparency, and local accountability. Adopting 278 is an unnecessary and harmful shortcut that will ultimately make Pinal County less safe. Sincerely, Jennifer Hillsbowes, Chair, Pinal County Democrat Party. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. And you did sign a card earlier, but you just used your time, so thank you. Barbara Benetton? I think I got it close.
Yes.
Please
Just
state
1 second. I'm
your
sorry.
name, just general your name and where you live.
Okay.
Basically, where you live.
My name is Barbara Benetoni. I live in Queen Creek, and I'm an Arizona native, and I grew up in Pinal County. Thank you for allowing us to speak. I missed lunch, so I might be a little cranky. But I do want to make a statement, and it's one of righteous outrage, really. The 287G agreement between Pinal County and ICE is the unconstitutional racial profiling of people of color in our communities. It is no different than SB 1070, to which Joe Arpaio brought shame upon our state, plus millions in lawsuits paid for with tax dollars. And I might add, Maricopa County Sheriff's Department was the only sheriff's department in the United States under the purview of the Department of Justice. So, just a warning. Legal wrangling may keep 287G lawsuits at bay, but both agreements are morally bankrupt, and ICE activity does not make our neighborhoods safer. Shame on the Trump administration, shame on ICE, shame on Sheriff Teeple, shame on whomever is responsible from Pinal County for the signing of this agreement. I grew up in Pinal County. We didn't know if our sheriff was a Democrat or Republican. He was there to serve all. There was no political posturing to make the next media feed. Governance through fear is also a dangerous tactic. Pinal County, your reputation precedes you. Your two previous sheriffs, Babio and Lamb, beat the drums of racism, and their language provoked the killing of 23 brown people at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas. You cannot scream the false narrative that our nation is being invaded and expect demented racist people not to act upon those lies, all in the guise of being patriots. Words matter. So, enough. Please stop allowing masked men the liberty of endangering our communities with Gestapo tactics, and let justice prevail. Thank you.
Thank you. Theodora Shiro.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClure, Supervisors. I am talking on that same topic. I implore you to consider the consequences of the task force model collaboration between Pinal County Attorney's Office and ICE. Most of you are aware that anti-ICE protests are happening across the country and in Pinal County. Why is that? If ICE were actually arresting violent criminals instead of children, construction workers, grandmothers, landscapers, mothers and fathers taking their children to school, and others who are guilty only of overstaying their visas, which is a civil violation and a misdemeanor, would people protest? I don't think so. Under the task force model, local law enforcement can enforce limited immigration authority with ICE oversight during their routine police duties. It seems inevitable that deputizing county investigators as federal immigration officers will lead to racial profiling and the unjust targeting of immigrant communities. Shifting local law enforcement personnel to an ICE task force will not only lead to violent arrests, detention, and deportation of innocent people, but also leave fewer agents to combat serious crimes like child trafficking and drug trafficking. Remember, elected officials serve at the will of the people. That includes the county attorney and the sheriff. You must respect your oath to protect and serve the people by not helping ICE attack people in Pinal County who have committed no crimes. As taxpayers, we have a right to full disclosure of the number arrested, the percentage with criminal records, and the cost of these operations. And in closing, I remind you that every single person in this room is either a descendant of immigrants, the child of immigrants, an immigrant themselves, or a Native American. As Christians and as moral people, we should celebrate immigrants, treat them with dignity, allow them to work and provide for their families, just as our families have provided for us.
Ms. Shiro, I'm sorry, could you just please state your name? And
Oh, sorry, I had it written down. Theodora Skiro. I live on the outskirts of Kearney.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Oliver. Karen, oh, there you go. And just for the record, please state your name and generally where you live. You got it. Okay, we're good.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors. My name is Karen Oliver. I live in Santan Valley at Ganzel and Combs, where much of the ICE activity is taking place. My family is nervous. We felt safe here before the increased police action, kidnapping workers, and AI cameras popping up on the corners violating our privacy. When announcing the 287G agreement, County Attorney Brad Miller stated, "We are trying to make our community safer. ICE activity is doing the opposite. Today, you are asking attorneys, or you asked attorneys, if this agreement is legal. I hope that you will consider the moral questions, the wishes of the 500,000 plus residents, and the economic impact of surveillance and heavy policing in our community. As part of the Queen Creek Santan Valley Indivisible and in partnership with the People First Project, I learned the rules and even learned today from Sheriff Teeples the rules of monitoring law enforcement activity while allowing them to do their job. I notice stops are primarily of Hispanic people. I also saw law enforcement intimidating people. I personally filed a complaint with the county over a specific incident that happened to me on December 16th, where law enforcement was tailgating me for over a mile. I have 9 grandkids living here, and what should I tell my 16-year-old grandson who rides his bike all over between Circle Cross Ranch down to Hunt Highway and to my house at Combs? How can I be sure he is safe with this military-like activity? What about the families in my neighborhood walking to Dairy Queen in the evening? What about my grandkids who frequent the Santan Valley Library? This feels more like 8 Mile in Detroit rather than quiet Santan Valley. I graduated from a high school on 8 Mile. 3 cameras recently appeared on Ganzel and Combs. Did you know that the possibility for ordinary citizens to hack some of these cameras, violating our privacy? Do we really need 3 cameras on one corner? And I'm wondering what economic impact will businesses feel? In October, a rural town in Washington took measures to increase privacy with those cameras. Flagstaff has deactivated all 32 of its FLOT cameras. The surveillance feels wrong to me. My concerns today are about my family's safety, the horror of watching people of color kidnapped or harassed in my community, and there was one more piece. I'm also concerned about the economic impact. However, for me, it doesn't matter as much, but I worry, like some other people were saying, it is going to impact home builders and other companies in the area because of the increased police activity and the cameras and surveillance. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I have a copy with my references here. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think this is Andrea Vavella.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Andrea Varela, and I am the Organizing Director for Rural Arizona Engagement. I live in Casa Grande, and I'm here today to oppose the 287G agreement signed by the Pinal County Attorney without this board's approval. I am concerned about the impact that this 287G agreement will have on our local communities in Pinal County. The task force model is the most expansive and controversial model of the 287G program. This model reveals a pattern of systemic racial profiling and constitutional violations and was originally discontinued in 2012 because of this. This 287G agreement delegates federal immigration authority to state and local law enforcement during their routine duties, which leads to negative outcomes for our rural communities. First, there is an erosion of trust. Immigrant communities will avoid reporting crimes or cooperating with police out of fear of arrest and deportation. Victims of domestic violence, victims of assault, and other crimes will fail to report them for fear that their status or that of their loved ones will be checked. Community members will be reluctant to come forward as witnesses and cooperate with investigations for fear of the same. This is the real impact it has on our rural towns. It will place federal immigration over our own public safety. It will make officers who should be focused on responding to our communities act as federal immigration officers who don't have the training or the resources to do so. Second, racial profiling increases exponentially under this model. Immigration status is not a visible characteristic, but the language someone speaks and their physical appearance are. And enforcement is forced to rely on these indicators when deciding whom to question, and as a result, immigrant communities are routinely targeted based on race. When local officers take on federal duties, the mission becomes to identify and deport, not protect and serve. In many jurisdictions, the board must officially sign off or ratify the memorandum of agreement between the county and the Department of Homeland Security. In the case of Pinal County, this board did not. We respectfully ask you to now stand against the 287G agreement and stand for the safety of our community. Thank you.
Ms. Margaret Shaw. Ms. Shaw, there you are.
Well, it seems that pretty much everything has been said that I was going to say also, but I would just like to echo the fact that the police are here to protect and serve us. At least that's what I grew up being taught, and to trust our police officers and other civil servants. And at this point in time, as the grandmother of brown grandchildren and brown children, I worry about that. I don't feel like our police officers are wanting to protect and serve anymore. So please consider that. Consider the children that are growing up into this county that need to be feeling protected and cared for by us, and do away with the ICE operations with our sheriff's department, our police departments. Thank you.
Ms. Shaw, could you please just
Margaret
state?
Shaw, Santan Valley.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Hang on, I just saw another one. Oh, I'm sorry, Amanda Schifano. There you go.
Good afternoon, Chair and Board of Supervisors. My name is Amanda Schifano. I'm from Florence, Arizona. The 287G agreement is dangerous. It blurs the lines between local policing and federal immigration, leading to unnecessary racial profiling and targeted enforcement. Now, I have lived in Pinal County my entire life. I attended kindergarten to 12th grade here, and I'm currently a college student at CAC. This community has always provided me with the feeling of safety and trust, but the 287G agreement threatens the trust between Pinal County and its community. I deserve to continue living in a safe community. Our community deserves to drive to work and class without the fear of being pulled over and having a traffic stop turn into an ICE arrest. Our community deserves to walk in a space they trust without racial profiling and terror. To those who support the 287G agreement and ICE activity, Who is ICE quote unquote protecting you from? Do they look like you or do they look like someone like me? Now, ICE isn't here to protect us, they're here to separate us. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Shameen Hawes.
Hello, I'm Shaman Hawes from San Manuel, Arizona, and I have been attending these meetings on the regular for a while to try to get San Manuel some attention from the county. At the last time I was here, I was mentioning that the only thing that seemed to be happening in San Manuel was reconstruction on what used to be a courthouse in San Manuel. It was before I moved there 2 years ago. It's been closed ever since I've been there. And I was mentioning that the only construction or work that I've seen doing is on that building, and we don't even know what it's for. It says it's for a Pinal County Sheriff's substation. There's an article in the most recent minor newspaper, Pinal County Courthouse renovation nears completion in San Manuel. Arbitrary pictures, no information about what it's going to be for. They don't even have an article author on this. That's how uninformative it is. We can't even call to check on details. So again, I'm pleading for transparency from the county to San Manuel. And when it comes to this 287G agreement, all I can say is I've done this already before. I moved here from Maricopa County, where Citizens for a Better Arizona, led by Randy Paraz, was able to successfully recall sitting Senate President Russell Pierce, made history, and we also drove Joe Arpaio out of office and got him convicted for his federal crimes, which our current administration pardoned him for. And those 287G agreements that were so harmful in our communities and cost Maricopa County millions and millions of dollars in lawsuits was totally disregarded by 2012. Nobody used it anymore. Everyone knew that it was federally disapproved. So it's no surprise to me that our current administration is pulling this out of their bag of tricks to try to torment us again. I plead with you not to allow this unethical and illegal move by Brad Miller, the county attorney, without this board's approval, to do something that the taxpayers of Pinal County have zero interest in, zero desire for, and we do not want to pay for it in either fear, lost neighbors, or the lawsuits that are going to inevitably result from this. So I plead you to reconsider, put the brakes on Mr. Miller's executive orders, so to speak. We don't want 287 agreements. What we need in San Manuel is less sheriffs. We need a dog catcher, okay? Can you please open up the dog catching facility? And here's the newspaper. Thank you.
Thank you. Clarissa Vela.
Hi, y'all. My name is Claire Sabella. I am the founder of the People First Project. The People First Project is a nonpartisan pro-democracy organization. Our biggest thing is accountability. I am a paralegal. My fun stuff I love to do is constitutional, criminal law, and immigration. So right now I want to talk to you guys about a whole different type of law, though. It's called tortious interference. So I don't know if any of you know anything about tortious interference, but we have been speaking with the builders whose workers have been being taken by Pinal County Sheriff's Office. I did just speak to Sheriff Teeple about what is happening. All of these people are being abducted from private property. There are signs that are on there, and these builders are ready to put in a class action against Santan, Pinal County. This is something that is going to reverberate to the people that you guys are accountable to. There are 5 board members, and there are over 500,000 people in Santan Valley. That means that each of you is, on average, kind of responsible for 100,000 people per day. And all of these people are counting on you all to do the right thing. Now, if Brad Miller wants to go and do his thing and be a person who is not so nice to people who are immigrants, he can do that on his own time. However, this will fall on the dime of the people. As we've seen in Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, there has been millions of dollars in lawsuits. They are under a court-appointed monitor that they've been under for over 15 years. So while people are being racially profiled in the streets of Santan and Pinal County, Cave Creek, Casa Grande, etc., all of that stuff is going to fall on your laps. You guys are going to be the ones who have to deal with the fallout from that. So I just wanted to kind of point that out because the builders are falling behind on their obligations because of these arrests. We run a rapid response team, so we have been filming officers who are participating in immigration enforcement so we can hold them accountable and put their feet to the fire. So if they want us to stop filming law enforcement, they should probably stop with the racism and get back to the job that they're doing. And maybe Pinal County Sheriff's Office, and Santan can get together and actually build their own police force instead of spending a ton of money on SWAT. Thank you. God bless you. I hope you guys have a great day. We all want what's best for the community, and I know that you do or you wouldn't be in this job. So please take some time to sit on that. God bless you.
Thank you. Mr. McCain.
Good morning, Chairman Jeffrey McClure. I got to say that. And the Board of Supervisors. I'm Barry McCain from Maricopa, City of Maricopa. I'm having a flashback of this 287, me being a citizen for Better Arizona. But I'm here. I'm just going to go right on through this. Let you guys know where I'm going. We're in the crazy season again, starting on the 12th. And I'll see you at the state capitol. We have a lot to do, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing. First of all, I want to talk about the water in La Paz County. I'm very much for that. Doing water and transportation since 2005 at the state capitol and with Supervisor Miller. Need his help. But I will be covering education, water, transportation, housing, my special project with a VA director for my veterans, election reform, agriculture, public employees, and the military. But I'd like to ask Supervisor Miller for his expertise on this election reform. We didn't even touch it last session. So I'm asking for your help for that and on the budget. And what happened in Maricopa City Council should never happen again. So election reform, we have to address this, and I do appreciate Mr. Miller and his expertise because he's the only one that's got to build houses like I did. So, but welcome to 2026, and it's starting out with a bang. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bobby Craig. Bobby Craig. I will guess you're not here. Okay. If you're not here, stand up. Let's see. George Hollenbeck. Can you please, just for your name and where you are?
Good morning, Supervisors, Chairman McClure, and Vice Chairman Seedy. My name is George Hollenbeck. I'm a site developer in Pinal County. The political climate in Washington, D.C. has empowered some elected officials and public servants within Pinal County to act with impunity. Without public engagement and participation, we're doomed to be governed by those inferiors. Development Services, Brad Miller and Cody Suprak imposed a building moratorium on South Twin Hawks Lane in 2023. They told property owners on South Twin Hawks Lane I sold them property without legal access, and they should convey the exceptions for road purposes on their deed to the county. Their effort to take over private easement failed. Then Sue Prack and David Barclift insisted my 2008 MLD approval of Kokopelli Estates had expired. Left no choice, Kokopelli Estates was approved a second time on June 22nd, 2025. Development Services took over planning and rescinded that second approval. Barclift became adamant, I must submit for a third approval. My engineer quit in disgust. Val Lujan intervened on my behalf, rescuing Kokopelli Estates from Development Services and moving it into the assessor's office for parcel numbers on September 16, 2025. Then, on October 28, 2025, Sue Prack and Barclift tried to review Kokopelli Estates for a third time. I participated in Pinal County's call to the public November 5, 2025, because the assessor would not process the parcel numbers. Then the assessor altered Kokopelli MLD. A private easement was removed and a questionable fifth parcel was attached. Those actions are outside the province of the assessor's office and should be retracted. Had I wanted 5 parcels, I would have created 5 parcels. I was refunded $2,772 because the second MLD approval in 2025 was redundant, not because it was poorly executed. Any legitimate deficiencies in regards to Kokopelli MLD should have been addressed in writing prior to the approvals in 2008, 2025. I'd like to thank the board in advance for your considerations. I'd also like to thank Teresa Kuser, Val Lujan, Dietrich Denton, and Harvey Krause for their time, for their effort, and most importantly, for their patience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hollenbeck. Rodney I'm sorry, I have a hard time. McManamy. Did I do that pretty close?
Just make sure you state on the record that you gave it to me.
Hello, my name is Rodney McManamy. I'm currently from Bloomington, Indiana, and a former resident of Pinal County and still a property owner of Pinal County in Mr. Surtees' district. I have given some documents, and I have forwarded another 76-page evidentiary finding on swimming pools and their inclusion in Pinal County ever since 1962. In 2000, I'm going off, you know what, I'm going to go off record here because I have given you all the facts. I believe every supervisor here has gotten multiple facts and emails from me, and if not, I will forward those to anybody who haven't. But while we were in Pinal County, our neighbor was allowed to build a pool off from an erroneous site plan. That site plan stipulated that the pool was set back 17 feet 10 inches from the property line, or 17 feet 4 inches, I believe it was, depending on which permits and which site plan you looked at. The house itself was permitted to be 10 feet back from that very same property line. So how can a pool on the right-hand side of a house that's 10 feet back from a property line have a setback of 17 feet 4? Mr. Surtees' office got the ball rolling, I believe it was, when we filed a code compliance and got the code compliance case going when we had a documented survey when we were getting ready to sell our house. That documented survey showed that the pool fence, propane tanks were on our property. We were not allowed to go onto the neighbor's property to survey the pool. You will look in the case documents that Paula Mullinex, I believe, code compliance manager, which would have made her the zoning inspector, and the only person with zoning compliance certification from the ICC, stated at that time in an email to me and to her supervisor that that pool would have to meet setback requirements. The setback requirements for Pinal County is currently 4 feet from the property line for an accessory structure. In 1962 is 5 feet. Specified for swimming pools in that 1962, which you will get in your evidentiary hearing. Since then, the pool has been allowed to meet code compliance despite not meeting the setbacks. There's nothing in the code documents and nothing that Pinal County has been able to provide that provides proof that anything was waived during that time. After this case, it has come to find out that the pool fence was rebuilt on our property. based off from what Pinal County says was a modification allowed per the pool building codes, which it cannot be. But more specifically, that the only document you can provide is a drawing. You have not provided who provided that drawing, the date that that drawing was provided, who approved it, or the date that it was approved. All that you have provided is a drawing. I have 65 public records requests, 22 of them have just been in the last week alone, and I apologize to the people of Pinal County for the enormous cost that this has brought on Pinal County for you not enforcing the basic requirements. The basic requirements are 4 foot from the property line per building code, 4 foot per zoning from my evidentiary findings, 5 foot back in 1962, and it's also a 30-inch clear distance around the entire pool, between the pool and that fence, and that is for rescue purposes. That is in the building codes. That has been in there for decades. It's also in the code critique sheet. So I'm asking Pinal County to, one, review the executive things. Sorry, my time is up, but we will be following through with plenty more emails.
Thank you. Ms. Lewis, I think you're up. I didn't recognize that as you.
Chairman McClure, members of the board, Dana Lewis, Pinal County Recorder, and Officer in Charge of Elections. I just wanted to bring to the public's attention those that are not signed up for the weekly communications roundup. There's currently a survey that's going around, and this survey is in regards to wanting to see what voters like using. In Pinal County, early ballots are mailed out in a carrier envelope, and then they are returned with the affidavit with a buff-colored envelope for security purposes. We're hearing across the state that there might be legislation coming to try to get rid of one or to force other counties to do the other. We would really like to reach out to voters and see what they prefer. So we put out this survey. So those who are not signed up with the communications department to receive all of the great information about what we're doing in Pinal County, I ask that you reach out via communications@pinal.gov to get signed up or be engaged in our social media following. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now I have two others here that are T.G. Edgin and Teresa Edgin, and you've put down item 10. Is that what you're trying to actually do? Okay, because that's not in the call to the public. You can speak to that in the public hearing, unless you want to do your 3 minutes now and not go to the public hearing. You want to do it now? Come on up. I'll assume you're TG. Please come on up. And if you could please just state your name and generally where you live, that would be great. Thank you.
Hello, I'm T.G. Etkin, and I'm Florence. And what I'm here for today is I'm here to oppose the special use permit application submitted by Christ the Victor Church for continued operation of a commercial indoor storage and boat and RV storage. For the past 16 years, this 501c3 nonprofit church has knowingly operated a commercial storage facility illegally and in clear violation of county zoning laws. This is not a misunderstanding, nor is it a case of an evolving code. It has been an intentional, ongoing effort to avoid the regulations, inspections, and costs that every legitimate business in our county is required to follow. When concerns were first raised with the county over 5 years ago, nothing changed. Instead of bringing the illegal activity to an end, Christ the Victor Church responded by hiring a law firm to seek a special use permit to retroactively justify what they have already been doing illegally and unethically for almost 2 decades. This undermines the integrity of our zoning system in Pinal County. Granting this permit would reward long-term non-compliance and send a message that operating illegally for many years is an acceptable path to later approval of illegal business activities. It places law-abiding property owners and businesses at a disadvantage and erodes public trust in the county's enforcement process. I note that under the county's ordinance for a special use permit, specifically Pinal County Development Services Code Section 2.151.010, the applicant must demonstrate that the proposed use is in accordance with the intent of the zoning district. In this case, the evidence is clear. The church has operated essentially as a commercial business for 16 years without the required zoning approval, building permits, taxes, or code compliance. That long-term noncompliance erodes any claim of operating in accordance with the intent of the zoning regulations. The county's formal application form asks the applicant to state that if there is a zoning or building violation on the property for which the owner has been cited. In this case, a violation was issued only after complaints to the county. Granting a permit now would reward a prolonged violation of the county's regulatory scheme, undermining fair and equal enforcement. I'm not here to oppose the church's mission or its presence in our community. I am here because no organization, religious or otherwise, should be allowed to bypass the law and ethics for over 16 years and then be granted permission only after being caught, forced to comply. I guess I can wrap it up at that point.
Yes,
thank you, Chairman and the board. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Etch. And now, Ms. Etch, you do or don't want to talk? You don't have to come up if you don't want to talk. You can just say, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry.
I'll do it real quick and short.
Okay.
My name's Teresa Edkine. I live in Florence, Arizona. I am here to strongly oppose the special use permit application submitted by Christ the Victor Church for continued operation of a storage facility. The church has operated as a business illegally and unethically for almost two decades. For those 16 years, the church has taken all the income from the storage operation as donation. Dishonesty and faultlessness is not becoming of any business, let alone a nonprofit church. If you approve this special use permit, it sends a message to other compliant businesses that Pinal County rewards long-term non-compliance and sends a message that operating illegal and unethical is acceptable. They are also asking for the use of a special permit for RV and storage units, but they aren't just operating boat and RV. They're selling storage units inside their enclosed warehouse as well. Even in seeking a special permit, they are not honest and forthright. Lastly, the area is oversaturated with boat and RV storage already. My facility represents over 5 acres of land used for the boat and RV, while Donahue Boat and RV just got approved for added 20 acres of boat and RV storage right next door to the church, one parcel separated from us. The church illegally operation has caused major price erosion due to unfair and illegal business practices. I ask the board to uphold the zoning code, support fair and equal enforcement, and deny this special use permit. Thank you, Chairman of the Board and Supervisors.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And that concludes the cards that I have up here. Are there any from the audience that would like to speak? Ms. Podaska, I see you. You're doing the classroom thing. I got it. You come on up.
My name is Dia Podaisky. I live in unincorporated Pinal County. This will be the shortest thing I have ever said. 2024, Joe Biden was president. There was no Doge. So the answer that I was given to the question about 2024 Doge blah was fairly unresponsive. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reck.
I'm Noel Reck from Eloy. I'd like to thank Supervisor Miller for your work as chairman over the last year. You were effective, fair, open-minded, and respectful towards constituents who spoke before the board. I want to give props for several items on today's agenda benefiting the people of Pinal County: the Women's Health Check Program, trauma counseling, help for the unhoused, the various programs seeking or aiding job seekers, victims advocacy, the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Fund. And lastly, the executive sessions pertaining to the conflict of interest between, one, the board and the county attorney regarding the legality, scope, and functions of the 287G agreement between the county attorney, the Department of Homeland Security, and ICE without prior board authorization. And two, the board and the county attorney regarding liability and mitigation with respect to employment matters. I find the actions of the county attorney to be a carbon copy of actions from the garishly gilded Oval Office. Take whatever actions you desire now, regardless of their impropriety, their de facto nature, and let their legality be sorted out later. The overreach at taxpayer expense is apparent. Moving on, yesterday marked the 5th anniversary of the infamous 2021 attack on the Capitol, law enforcement, and our democratic republic. I can never forgive or forget those who instigated it, carried it out, continued to deny it, attempt to whitewash it, or the culpable traitor who issued 1,500 blanket pardons and commutations. Thank you, Jack Smith. Never again. To the present, although ushered in with pretended concern for our national security and drug trafficking, thuggish gangsterism, and lust for another nation's oil and natural resources, 2026 is welcomed with open arms. It will take much vigilance and effort, but a reversal of the year of Project 2025 is at hand. 2026 will be a much better year. Now I ask the board to consider recent news reports that I believe have ramifications for the county and to direct the appropriate departments to study these matters and report out as to the county's response to them. The VA is implementing a near-total abortion ban, including cases of rape, incest, and the mother's health at risk. Health and Human Services froze child care and family assistance funds in 5 Democrat states. Is Arizona next? That could very well be. As HHS has announced the first round of funding for the 50-state Rural Health Transformation Program, the 6 states with the lowest allocations, including Arizona, are all led by Democratic governors. Recent studies indicate the rate of suicide for Arizona farmers and ranchers is 3.5 times higher than any other resident. Trump's tariffs are seen as a corollary along with weather, drought, and disease. The CDC has cut the recommended list of childhood vaccines from 18 to 11. The medical community is legitimately concerned that this will adversely influence parental decision-making. And the Postmaster General is implementing a new policy that mail will be postmarked on the day it's processed and not the day it's received. This has huge implications for mail-in ballots. And of course, the ACA subsidies have expired. Time won't allow for more. Please give these serious attention that they deserve. I've given this list to the clerk for your edification. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others that wish to speak?
I'm so nervous right now.
That's okay. Just shake it off and just.
My name's Marie McHugh, and I live in Maricopa County. And I did fill out a request to speak, but I didn't want to speak. Okay. Oh. But it's only been brought to my attention since the time we've been here that a woman in Minneapolis was just shot in the face and was killed. And all she was trying to do is protect the vulnerable community. And it's just hitting the internet, the airwaves, and everything. And my daughter's 26 years old, and she's brown skin. And we have conversations every day and every night about what to do, what not to do, be very cautious. And those guidelines that we've created for our family change daily. And it's like, I don't even know what's going on really in the world right now. There's so much hatred, so much violence. And this 287G agreement is horrible. People can't trust their neighbors. People are like, are you wearing a blue wristband or a red wristband? Who are you politically? It's horrible. And all I just want to say is enough is enough. And this is insane. This is crazy. People are losing their lives over this. And we need those vulnerable communities. There's no way we can deal without them. One day we're going to all wonder where's our fruit, where's our vegetables. They have hard-working jobs. A lot of these people, landscaping, they do construction work. All they just want to do is be able to survive, be able to provide for their family, and most of them came from thousands of miles away just for a better life. And I don't know what else to say, but I'm just so distraught over the fact that this woman just lost her life just trying to help protect her community. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy, I see you standing back there. Come on up.
Kennedy Ivey from San Manuel. I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you to you for always helping us out. Okay, I want to thank Public Works, our new crosswalks, all the new painting that's going up in San Manuel. It's fantastic. Our sidewalks look great. I'd also like to give a shout out to Sheriff Teeple and his deputies. We had an incident recently where a school was broken into, an abandoned school. The kids did over $20,000 worth of damage. They have all been apprehended. The police showed up. They handled it very quickly, professionally, and so I appreciate their presence there and what they're doing for us. And I just want to thank all of you guys, the county management team, for always stepping up, and Joel Millman as well for doing a lot of workforce development over there. So thank you for all you do. Keep up the good work.
I'm sorry I called you Mr. Kennedy. I got it all kind of confused with
I have two
Mr.
last
Ivey.
names.
Yeah, you know,
it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Revelis.
Roberto Revelis, resident of Gold Canyon. First off, Mr. Chairman and Vice Chairman, best wishes on your new responsibilities. 2 years ago, or 5 years ago rather, on January 6th, those of us sitting in this room were unaware that our nation's capital was under violent attack by a Donald Trump-encouraged mob seeking to overthrow our government's peaceful transfer of presidential authority to the winner of the 2020 election, Joe Biden. Today, America faces yet another Trump-induced crisis, this one an international crisis created by the kidnapping of a despicable dictator in Venezuela, in apparent violation, though, of both U.S. and international law. Presidential crises that challenge truth-telling and respectful civic engagement, values that are essential to governing at all levels, including the level of this board. For example, during the board's November 19 meeting, I asked probing questions about the Florence Unified School District agreement with Pinal County related to school resource officers. According to the agreement, the resource officer is at schools to intervene in, quote, any incidents that potentially threaten the safety or security of pupils, teachers, administrators, or other occupants of the school, end quote. Everyone knows ICE agents are actively hunting down brown-skinned people like myself, including parents taking children to school. I asked at that meeting, what happens when an immigration agent shows up and, quote, threatens the safety or security of pupils, teachers, administrators, or other occupants of the school? I asked, what's the role of a school resource officer when confronted by two law enforcement agents with mutually conflicting tasks? The seemingly defensive or definitive assurance that was offered to the board was by Florence School Board member Roger Beatty, who told you that the issue I brought up had received, quote, much discussion, unquote. The problem with that statement is that there was no IGA discussion by the school board the day that it was approved under a consent agenda. I could find no public record of any contemporary discussion. If there was a timely discussion, there should be a public record. I request that you seek that public record. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for one more, and then we're going to take a 20-minute break. So, sir, you're up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sam Martin. I'm from Oracle, Arizona. I'm here to talk about the 287G agreement. This agreement exposes the county to liability, and it diverts deputies from important public safety work. This agreement was signed behind our backs in defiance of the law. Oracle is not incorporated, so you guys are my direct local government. I need you guys to stand up for my neighbors. I need this. I need you to stand up for them no matter who is threatening them, even if it's the feds. This agreement is a moral outrage, and I need you to rescind it. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, we're going to...
Can we respond?
Excuse me?
If we were mentioned, can we respond?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please respond to me.
So I don't know if Mr. McManamy is still here, but we've had almost a complete turnover of staff in that department, and we will relook at your situation with a fresh set of eyes. So, okay.
Okay. But that, it's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. You can only respond, and that's to you. So.
Okay.
Anyone else? With that, we're going to recess the Board of Supervisors meeting for about 20 minutes, and we shall be back. Call of the public is closed. Not the public hearings that are coming, but call of the public is closed. So we're going to reconvene the Board of Supervisors regular meeting, and we're going to start with item number 10, which is a discussion, approval, disapproval of resolution number 2026-SUP-016-25. Mr. Bach, you're up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I just presented the clerk with some late emails that I received here in support mostly, and then one item of opposition. So this is item SUP 016-25. This is a special use permit request to continue to operate an RV storage facility on just under 20 acres, a location southeast of Arizona Farms Road and Apollo Drive. Brennan Ray is your applicant on behalf of Christ the Victor Lutheran Church. So this shows you the general overall location, shows you the zoning and the case map and the surrounding zoning. Here you have an aerial depiction of the property. You can see there's some other storage facilities nearby, as well as a subdivision to the west and agricultural to the north. This is a conceptual site plan of the facility. This used to be, I believe, a lumber processing facility, and it's been a church for quite a while now. And so then also they have, of course, the aforementioned storage. There we go. Okay, so here's looking to the south.
Use the mouse.
And then to the east. Doesn't respond. And then to the west. So this is a result of a code enforcement complaint. Subject property zone CB1, local business. And the latest code enforcement case here, CC 0362-24, is currently in abeyance pending outcome of this SUP application. So this has apparently been operating as RV storage partially since 2009. At the time of the report, there was no letters of opposition. Since then, that has changed. As I mentioned earlier, mostly support items and then one opposition. And staff would be happy to entertain any questions the board may have.
Are there any questions for Mr. Bach? Hearing none. All right, I'm going to open the public hearing here, like that. But I'm going to let the app. Well, that's true. I'm not going to do that yet. Sorry, I've not done this before, right? So, the applicant, would you like to come speak, please?
Chair, members of the board, Brennan Ray, 2325 East Camelback, here on behalf of Christ the Victor Church.
I will be brief. I do have a presentation that the clerk is loading that, if necessary, I can go through it in detail. But staff did a good job in their presentation as to what this is. The church, Christ the Victor Church, started operating on this particular site in 2004. It's a great use of the old 84 lumber site that was once a truss plant. And so they've been operating there. And as staff indicated, this does come from a code-compliant case. And as this board is well aware, with a code-compliant case that's brought, there are two options that are presented to the offending party. Option A is to stop what you're doing, or option B is to see if there's a way to bring the property into compliance with the zoning ordinance. And that is, we have chosen option B, which is why you have the special use permit request before you. There are 10 criteria with which this use must be vetted against per the zoning ordinance, and I won't go through all 10 of them, but staff does in their staff report, and I can tell you that we satisfy all 10 of those criteria for the granting of the special use permit. And again, there's a lot more detail that I can go into if necessary. We're grateful for the Planning and Zoning Commission's almost unanimous recommendation for approval. I'm grateful to work with staff on this and work with code compliance as well. And we would request this group's approval of that SUP. Again, happy to answer any questions and go into more detail if necessary.
Any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
Mr. Ray, the picture that we saw that was during the presentation from staff, I've been there a few times, and I've never noticed any wall. Are they going to build any walls around this? Can you give me a little detail of the project of, will there be walls built around it, so that way it's just not a bunch of RVs parked out in the middle of nowhere? Please give me a little, because I haven't seen any in the past that I've been there.
Yeah, through the chair, Supervisor Vidiello, I do not believe there are any plans to make any site improvements in connection with the special use permit. Obviously, having been by the site, where the storage takes place is pretty, it's behind the church south, up against the railroad, off of Arizona Farms Road. While it's certainly visible from Arizona Farms today, I do not anticipate the church undertaking substantial site revisions, putting walls up and things of that nature.
So what about safety? What about keeping these storages? Are they going to have a lot of break-ins where our sheriff's department's going to have to be out there every 10 times a day or whatever the numbers are? I'm just a little concerned about being in the wide open. So,
yeah, through the chair, Supervisor Vidiello, certainly understand the concern. It is obviously a secured facility, even though it's not with a solid masonry wall. They do have fences that are out there. To my knowledge, and I can ask, I do have members of the church that are here as well. I'm not aware of this being a hot spot for criminal activity where they do have PCSO coming in, because of break-ins or things of that sort.
So, Mr. Ray, the fence is like, I've been there a few times, it's like 6, 8 feet tall, something like that, isn't it? Something like that. It seems like there's a gate and it's all fenced in around it.
Yeah, through the chair, if you'll allow me to confirm with my client, I believe that's correct, but so just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Chair, members of the board, thank you for that. What I did confirm is that there is a solid masonry wall on the south and west side adjacent to the residential properties. Okay, but the balance of it is secured. I believe it's a chain link fence, but it is secured back south of the church.
Right, and the eastern side is a warehouse or something like that, so it's a solid wall. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Ray? Mr. Goodman, are you there?
I am. I don't have any questions. I just think it's neat that we're trying to get it in compliance as well. I'm in favor of that.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ray. Okay, now I'll open the public hearing. How's that? Thank you. Are there any? Let's see, I have a few cards here. They all are, I do not wish to speak, and they're in favor. I've got like 13 of those. I've got one speaker here who would like to speak, Stephen Hotz. I believe he left. He left? So I won't let him speak, right? That's how it works? Okay. I shall silence him right now. Okay. Any others that wish to speak? He was, oh, by the way, he was in favor. So, yes. So, any others that wish to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And if there are no more questions, any other questions? I'd ask for a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion on item number 10. Recommendation motion is to approve as presented with one stipulation.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. I have a second. Okay, a motion and a second. Those in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 There you go. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. All right. Item number 11, the discussion, approval, disapproval of resolution number 2026-SUP-010-25. And this is a resolution approving case SUP-010-25. And this is going to be Mr. Panchenko. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Supervisors. My name is Valentin Panchenko, Senior Planner, here to present to you case SCP-01025 for wireless communication facility. This is a request to allow and operate a new 90-foot high wireless communication facility and with a total height of 95 feet with branches. That's located northeast of East Copper Mine Road and North Main Street in incorporated town of Santan Valley. The landowner, Tim Ferrara, LifePoint Christian Fellowship, and the agent Bill Koenig SmartLink Group is present here today. Here's a general location for the map within the new town limits. This is a zoning. That's a site for the church, across the school with SR pod, and the location, that's vicinity map. That's in the middle of subdivision. This is aerial map. That's a site of church with a large parking, and the proposed cell tower will be located at the back of parking lots. Here is the notice signs. Brief history: the property was rezoned to SR in 1999. There is no existing SCP as of today, and the property is operated by LifePoint Church, and that's within the new town limits. The special use permit is for, I would say, quasi-stealth design at cell tower. The stealth design requirements by the county allows stealth design wireless communication facility up to 90 feet. This is a request for the 95 feet, including branches. But the applicant wishes to still mimic the stealth design requirements except the height. So the height is basically the only requirements for the stealth that doesn't meet county requirements. And they also will locate the first responder network authority bands on that cell tower. So it will be communication capacity for police, fire, and EMS. This is general site plan. And here you will see in the east corner of the back parking, the location for the cell tower. The cell tower abuts the residential property to the east, but they will meet the full zone requirements 1-to-1, height to the setback to the property line, as code requires. This is general layout of the leased area for the cell tower. Here's layout for the cell tower itself. Again, they meet all requirements for the stealth design, pine cell tower. They have height for the branches requirement. They meet the requirements, distance between the branches, etc. They will cover the antenna arrays under the branches. It's only the issue with the height. Yeah. So this is general summary of what I just told. And the setback, they will have a 90 feet setback for the pole, height of the pole, and they will meet setback requirements 90 feet to the nearest east lot line with the residential properties. There was one letter from the resident within the subdivision. The concern was regarding exposure of electromagnetic fields, desired for the case to be heard by the future Santana Valley governmental body, and the concern that the tower located within the church property. Regarding to the first comment by the federal law, basically, if it's approved by the federal agency regarding electromagnetic fields and technical equipment, county doesn't have any authority to limit those requirements. And Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the CCP 8-0 subject to 14 stipulations as outlined in the staff report. Does the board have any questions to the staff?
Any questions for staff? Supervisor, what's your name? Vidiello? Yeah.
Just two things. Pine trees. We live in Arizona. Could we come up with a design, maybe like a water tower or something that tends to fit? But that's another issue. The other thing is, any word back from the Santan Town Council? Any comments? Any input from them?
This case was basically the first case that we shared with the new appointed manager of the town. It was December 25th or something like that, so it was holiday time. Yeah. Yeah. So I think there was no comments from the manager as of today.
But the council members?
And no, we didn't share it directly with the council members. We shared with the lawyer and the town manager. I hope they share it with. Actually, we do have the mayor on our P&Z panel, so I'm aware the mayor was, and he voted in favor for this case.
I want to point out to Mr. Vitiello that Arizona is home to the largest ponderosa pine forest in America, in the world.
It's coming to Santan Valley.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Is the applicant here today? Did you care to speak? Or just state your name and generally where you're from?
Hi, Bill Koning with SmartLink, representing AT&T. It's actually an elm, not a pine tree. I'm on an elm. So, yeah. But yeah, no,
It was just a comment.
Okay.
Living in Arizona, you know, I mean, he makes a great point where
yeah.
it's located. It's kind of a
anyway. No, I hear you. And just to add on to that, we did have to go through design review with the HOA there to submit the plans and all that kind of good stuff. And we got approval through them, so their community saw it. It went to their board, and they gave us approval on the design. So, but other than that, I can answer any questions you guys may have.
Any other questions for the applicant? None. Okay, thank you very much. With that, I'll open the public hearing. There we go. Public hearing is open on item number 11. Is there anyone that wishes to speak to this item? Okay, not seeing anyone. We'll close the public hearing. And I would ask for a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion on item number 11 to approve as presented with 14 stipulations.
Very well. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 There you go. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. I did close the public hearing, didn't I? Just checking to make sure, because it's It's moving so fast, I can't keep up. Okay, item number 12. Item 12 is a public hearing and discussion, approval, disapproval of ordinance 2026-PZ-019-03, an ordinance approving case PZ-019-03 with one stipulation. Mr. Pachenko, you're back.
Good afternoon again, Chairman, Vice Chair, Supervisors. My name is Valentin Panchenko, Senior Planner, here to present to you case PZ-019-03, which is rezone reversion request. This is a mutual request from both the owner and the Pinal County Development Service Department. That's a request to approve a reverse zone reversion from general business zone CB2 to single residence zone CR3 on 0.37 acre, consistent with stipulation number 7 of previously approved resolution for zone change case PZ-019-03. That's located in Gold Canyon area. The requester actually the landowner of that property. This is a general location for the property. Here's the zoning, and here's a bit of prehistory. So in 2003, there was a case connected to the code compliance case. The property north with CB2 in red next to the Kings Ranch Road tried to use the parcels south of that as a parking lots, and there was a violation of the code. At that time, they were a part of subdivision, CR3. They not allowed to use it as for businesses. And at that point of time, owner of that parcel, they applied for the rezoned it to commercial to use it as extension for the daycare. And that was a timed development. That means that board at the time put the condition that it should be developed within a strict timeline, and put also additional stipulations that board will be able to reverse zoning. And just recently, the owner of one of that parcel contacted the county, our district managers, about that they have a residential property on that site, but they're not allowed to make any extensions, any improvements, because it's commercial, and they first need to have commercial activity on the property. And at the time, it was a solution found to use that stipulation, and the board have actually right to reverse zoning back to residential. So this is vicinity map, aerial map. You see that that's a residential house, actual. That's, and just repeat of what I told about the history. So about the stipulation actual, there should the expansion of the daycare facility not commence within 18 months, Pinal County Supervisor approval of this zone change compliance with the scheduled development or cause the property to revert to its former zoning classification. That allows board just to consider this stipulation and reverse without going through the whole process of rezone with planning and zoning, the whole process. So currently we received the formal written consent from the owner of this property and sign it to a 7 waiver for stipulation for this property. So the owner actually consent and allows reversion of this zoning by the board. And the code specifically says not just related to that stipulation, but generally that in case of some timed development condition in any rezone, board have 3 options to consider. That's first, to either grant an extension, second, determine compliance with the development schedule, or third, cause the property to revert to its former zoning classification. And that's fully consistent with the stipulation put at that point of time. Again, just to confirm that the owner agreed for that reversion, and that was actually his call, and county just found the tool how to do the less painful way. And there's only one stipulation to this reversion rezone. So, and the stipulation say that the property will need to follow any requirements of the Pinal County.
And Mr. Pachenko, because you use the word reversion and you say at that time, because that's no longer available. You cannot use reversion clauses any longer for quite a few years. Is that correct?
Help me out here. Help me out.
Because I know where this goes further,
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board. Darren Geary, Deputy County Attorney, Pinal County. There is a provision under ARS 11814I. It's not automatic reversion. The county can't just subject a rezoning of a property to automatic reversion on a certain date. But this statute, 11814I, does allow the board to condition a rezoning on a schedule for development of the property for the purpose for which it was rezoned. In this case, it was 18 months to commence construction of a daycare facility. If that doesn't happen, in other words, if that condition is not met, then under statute there are certain procedural safeguards in place. The owner of the property, the applicant, has to be notified that the board may exercise its options under the statute to do one of three things. The board can have a hearing to determine compliance with the schedule for development, or 2, grant an extension for the development, or 3, cause the property to revert to its former zoning classification. And again, that's under 11814I. So it's not just automatic reversion. There's notice and opportunity to be heard, where zoning can be conditioned on a development schedule.
On the development schedule, but because we have this issue that goes on in Supervisor Vitiello's area. So, well, it's all farming, and they got turned over to housing, and we want it to revert back to farming, to agriculture in 2 years if they don't touch it. And this is a conversation that's going to keep coming up, so I'm trying to clarify this.
Right, and there is, of course, an agricultural exemption under Arizona law for property of, I think it's 5 contiguous commercial acres to be used for certain purposes, such as agricultural purposes or mining certain things without regard to the zoning. You can do that as a matter of right if the property is of a certain size. There is that exemption under Arizona law for that, for ag purposes. For this, I would direct the board to 11814I, and I can read that statute. It says, the board may approve a change of zone conditioned on a schedule for development of the specific use or uses for which rezoning is requested. If, at the expiration of this period, the property has not been improved for the use for which it was conditionally approved, the board, after notification by certified mail to the owner and applicant who requested the rezoning, shall schedule a public hearing to grant an extension, determine compliance with the schedule for development, or cause the property to revert to its former zoning classification.
Supervisor Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Because I experienced this probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and the way I'm hearing this is we, or the county, and the developer agreed to put this stipulation in if they did not develop it. And this was basically an RV park that kind of floundered and didn't get off the ground. Somebody bought it, put a PAD on it for single-family homes. That didn't happen. And then it got sold, and in the PAD, in the development agreement, it said if nothing was built within 5 years, it would revert back to. Now, the person that bought it wanted to revert it back because he did actually make an RV park out of it, but it was heck trying to get the county to acknowledge that. Really, my question is, could we put that stipulation in a lot of these developments that within 10 years, if they don't develop houses, it could revert back? I mean, how strong is that? And I bet the development community wouldn't like it, but it might be a way to, either put up or shut up kind of thing, because a lot of this stuff gets zoned or entitled and then just sits there for years.
Right, and I don't want to get too far off topic of this particular matter, but generally speaking, I can direct the board to 11814I, which does allow for that type of stipulation to be imposed. I think the matter you're describing may be a little bit more facts sensitive. There may be a lot more facts there. This is a very simple one. Mm-hmm. In the 4 years that I've been here in the civil division of the county attorney's office, I've never seen this used. Yeah. And so when this came up, I looked at it, and it's a very simple condition in the sense that if this daycare center did not develop within 18 months, the board has this right after notice and an opportunity to be heard in public hearing where the board can determine has development commenced, has it not commenced, what's going on. We can grant an extension or not. In this case, development never commenced, and so the issue is ripe. My understanding is that the property owner just wants to use their property for residential purposes. There's a residential home on it. They can't get a residential permit to expand the home or modify the home because it's zoned commercially. So in this case, it's a rare circumstance where you see a downzoning from commercial to residential, but in this case, that's what the request is.
Yeah, I think it's something in statute, though, that we should consider in development agreements in the future.
So there's no victim or nobody's getting over on anybody. Somebody just wants to be able to use their property.
That's my understanding. I can let Valentin address that a little bit more closely, and I believe the property owner is here as well if the board has questions of the property owner. But that's correct. My understanding is that this is only affecting the property owner who is here today, their property being reverted or
And
downzoned.
it's not in a strip of other commercial where you're like taking this off the commercial market. I mean, was waived to go that way to begin with, so it's really how it should have been all along, it sounds like.
That's my understanding. I'll defer to Valentin, who may be able to address those particular neighborhood questions a little bit more directly. Thank you.
Thank you. No,
Mr.
thank
Chair,
you.
I actually, I want to. So, my prior life as a city council member, 18 months, was a lot of our stipulations. We have this in this one. They push some dirt. They come back, I need an extension. They push some dirt. They need an extension. Is there a time frame and how many times? Because, again, we want something to either happen, put up or shut up type of thing. And how many times is it going to come back to staff, wasting time? What I'm getting at is 18 months is a great idea, but it's very easy. Is it vertical or is it pushing dirt, come back in 17 months and say, I need more time? They come back, we give them a 6 months extension. This just keeps
That's not
going
really
down.
this topic.
Nobody wants to
That's-
build anything.
We're off topic here.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to ask.
we can get that, but it's off topic for this particular item.
Okay.
So, thank you, Mr. Gary.
Thank you.
Mr. Pacheco, did you have any more to say?
Chairman, Vice Chairman Surdy, regarding to your questions, so originally that was a residential parcel. There was originally that house on that property, but then they decided that previous owners decided they want to be in compliance with at that time activity they did. They applied for commercial use. They take it out from subdivision, which was a part of subdivision. After that, they never commenced that daycare center expansion. It never happened. They sold that parcel to new owners. New owners just want to expand the residential house. But our code doesn't allow them to do that unless they first will do some commercial activity on the property. And the owner basically have two options: to apply for the whole process for rezoning, or at this point of time, because we have this stipulation that clearly says that the conditional development was actually put at that place, and the board have that right to do. So that's basically how the county helps the owner to do that easy way.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, the applicant's here? I take it that's you, because you don't fit with the rest of the group. Would you like to say anything? No. Okay. Thank you. Fine. Okay. In this case, thank you, Mr. Pacheco. I will now open the public hearing for item 12. Are there any from the public that wish to speak? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I would ask for a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve item number 12 as presented with one stipulation.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. With that, there's no further business before the board. We are adjourned.